You're standing in line. Your phone is dead. 10 seconds pass. Then 20. Something in your chest starts to itch. You look around for anything to look at. A sign? A stranger's shoes? A crack in the pavement. You would rather feel almost anything else than this. But what if that itch isn't weakness? What if it's one of the oldest alarms your body owns? Scientists call this feeling boredom. It sounds small, but your brain doesn't treat it that way. Your brain treats it like a threat. Boredom isn't the absence of stimulation. It's a signal telling you your attention is being wasted. For most of human history, wasted attention could get you killed. Think about your ancestors, sitting by a fire, watching a horizon that refused to change. If their minds had gone quiet during those long empty stretches, they might have missed the one thing that mattered. A shift in the wind, a shadow moving wrong. So, evolution built discomfort, a restless itch that forces the mind to keep scanning. Psychologist John Eastwood of York University describes boredom as the unpleasant pull of wanting to be engaged in something meaningful and failing to find it. That failure creates tension, and tension in the ancestral world meant one thing: pay attention, something needs to change. This ancient alarm didn't disappear when humans built cities and screens. It's still running, still scanning. Except now, the threats it once protected you from are mostly gone. So what happens when a survival signal has no predator to find? It turns inward, and that turn can be dangerous. In 2014, researcher Timothy Wilson at the University of Virginia ran a now-famous experiment. Participants sat alone in a room for 15 minutes with nothing to do. Before the session, most said they would pay money to avoid a mild electric shock. Left alone with their own thoughts, many chose to shock themselves anyway. One man did it 190 times. Given a choice between boredom and pain, many people chose pain. That detail tells you how deep this signal runs. For many people, boredom registers as real pressure, a pressure the mind will do almost anything to relieve, even if the relief itself hurts. This is where boredom becomes a warning, because a desperate mind doesn't always reach for something good. It reaches for whatever is fastest. Scrolling, snacking, risk-taking. A 2018 review by researcher Wijnand van Tilburg linked chronic boredom to unhealthy coping, from binge eating to reckless driving. The common thread wasn't the behavior. It was the need to feel anything besides that stillness. So the danger was never boredom itself. The danger is what people do to escape it. Now think about what that means for a species that just built the most effective boredom-erasing machine in history. Your phone removes the itch before you ever feel it fully. No scanning. No sitting with the discomfort long enough to let it work. And that might be the real twist. Boredom was also a door. Psychologist Sandi Mann at the University of Central Lancashire found that people who completed a boring task before a creative exercise came up with more original ideas than those who skipped it. The boredom wasn't wasted. It primed the mind to wander, and that wandering produced insight. Boredom carries two faces. One drags your attention back to the world, so you don't miss what matters. The other opens a quiet space where your mind, left alone, wanders somewhere it never would while busy. Modern life interrupts both. The moment restlessness rises, a screen answers it instantly. You never get bored enough to fall into your own thoughts. You just get bored enough to reach for your phone. Your ancestors' boredom had nowhere to go but inward. Yours has somewhere else to go, almost instantly. And that somewhere else rarely asks anything of you. It just takes. So the next time that itch rises in a waiting room, in the 10 seconds before you unlock your phone out of habit, consider what it's actually asking. Not to be entertained, to notice something that matters, or to sit still long enough for your own mind to wander somewhere useful. Your ancestors survived by listening to that itch, not escaping it. Maybe the danger was never boredom itself. Maybe the danger is how quickly we've learned to make it disappear.